Hey everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is the first of 2 videos we have for you today.
But first, a word from our sponsors. Bam! Extra wallets, guys. Just popped this out of my pocket. This came in useful over the weekend. Hopefully y'all had a good time with family, Mother's Day. So I popped out my Angry Joe bottle opener. Boom. Anybody got a bottle opener? Got it right here.
Always.
And plus, the box wallets are so cool. I still get compliments, guys. Check it out. Up to 25% off.
Spring cleaning sale.
Boom. Click
Check
that link down below. Grab yourself for one for you, your friends, or your family.
These are less than half the price of those other expensive metal wallets.
I tried them all, and I went out, and I wanted to work with
one.
extra. So, trust me, Angry Joe's got your back there. So, what the hell has been happening in game? There is so much that has happened. So huge news with Microsoft, which I was out for, and now I'm back, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Some sad stuff.
There's not a lot of good news.
A gut stab. Oh, you made a successful game?
Redfall? Was this Redfall?
Yeah.
Hold on, we'll get there. We're not there yet.
Okay.
We're not there yet. We'll start with small news. It's also going to make you mad. You know how you like Warhammer minis a whole lot? And
Yes, I do.
I enjoy painting them quite a bit.
Yeah.
They're increasing in price again.
What?
Again?
They're already plastic little Lamborghinis. You have to honestly listen. I know from time to time on the Angry Joe Show, I'll put up Warhammer Wednesday, and I am back into it after, I'm kind of reliving my childhood. I got tons and tons of minis, but I'm telling you, don't unless you have some, what do you call it?
Disposable income.
Disposable income.
A shitload of it.
Well,
Yeah, you have to essentially be rich to play Warhammer. Now, and there are other great companies out there. Let me say that Games Workshop is one of the most expensive, and if it's just getting too expensive, try some of these other companies. There's people trying to come up in the miniatures games and OG gaming world that make passionate, lesser popular games. And those prices are still, somewhat reasonable, especially like Warlord, who does bolt action and some of their miniatures they don't feel as overpriced as what Games Workshop has done.
So if I get like a picture, can I just get print it out on cardboard, cut that out, and then can I play with that?
Yes, that's what's wonderful about the hobby, Joe, is you could do that as much as you want.
You
could do it. Now,
Only at
it
home.
looks sucks.
Hey,
it looks
doesn't
shitty.
matter.
It sucks, but it's only at home. So when you go to a tournament, you have to have officially approved miniatures.
I can't afford it.
Can't afford it.
Paint.
I can't afford it.
No, you could use any paint you want, and you can even have bad paint jobs. But yeah, it is an expensive hobby that apparently, according to this article, is getting even more expensive by what is it? About 5%. And it's crazy in a world of 3D printers and stuff like this. It's just, I think, it's 5%.
Well, so this is 5% this year. Last year, they increased the price of minis by 10% for resin, 20% for metal. In 2023, it was 6% for. I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
It is. It's got to stop. It's got to stop right about here because, frankly, GW's prices were already slightly inflated because what they like to do they like to also kind of bake in. Oh, this single model is like 300 points in the game, so it's very valuable, it's very powerful, and somehow those will cost quite a bit more than another single model if you count all the models in another set, and you're like, okay, well, that price divided by 10 miniatures, why is this one not? It's the same plastic, right? It's the same plastic.
It's gonna be harder to find people to play with now, though.
Yeah,
it's gonna be too expensive.
It is hard to find people to play with, but you go to your local gaming shops.
Unofficially, there's all sorts of great armies that you can find out on the internet.
Yeah,
I want to be an ambassador of the hobby, so there's plenty of people you can find to play with that desperately want to play with you, want to be brand new friends. So go to a hobby store, and there'll be people there, and we can bitch together, and we can pool our money together and buy one miniature that we can play with 5 minutes at a time.
We can timeshare an army.
Yeah,
we can just split it. All right, good news. Mark Hamill is back as the Joker, so it's not the Junkler in MultiVersus like we were worried it would be. So
I never thought that. The man keeps saying, "I'm done. I'm done with Joker, not doing Joker no more. And then he comes back. But
Here's
I'm
some
happy
money.
for it because, you do have Kevin Conroy's Batman with Batman's voice, the true voice of Batman in the game. So that kind of fulfills his I'll work as Joker so as long as there's Batman there that, his favorite version of Batman.
Yeah, it was fun, but maybe I'll try it again. But I lost my momentum.
The momentum for that.
I think that's the sentiment across the board.
They made it bigger,
there might be a few
flowier.
mega fans that are super excited to play it again. But when you release a game, and then that's out for months and months and months, and then you delist it or you bring it down, and then make people wait another fucking bunch of months, almost a year, and bring it back up, it does affect things.
Yeah.
And so I hate to say this, but I can't imagine it being a success this time around either.
No.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think it'll do well, but then, it'll drop off just like before.
I don't think it was that bad to begin with. I think there was
Right.
things that there was not a reason to pull it. There was a lot
Right.
of things to tweak, but there wasn't a reason to delist it
Yeah.
and ultimately kind of kill the game.
It did.
Yeah.
Why? Why the fuck did they do that? I thought this is going to be genius when we relaunch everybody, and then their grandmas, too, are going to
It'd
play.
be like Final Fantasy 14. It's like, no, it is not like Final Fantasy 14. Stop it.
We'll play. We'll try some. We'll see how it is. But frankly, I think that's one of those games that will be dropping off and won't have a big shelf life. Unfortunately, because I think the license and these characters, and it's done really well. The battles are fun. The voices are there, compared to other kind of all-star type of games.
Yeah.
The license has potential for a lot of future characters, too. So I don't want it to shut down or be a one-and-done. Well, actually, it's two-and-done thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
2 chances. Good news. Some developers are doing pretty well. Nintendo profits rise to $6.2 billion ahead of a quiet year. This is good for them. They sold a lot of games. They did very well last year. Now they're saying that they're expecting a 20% drop this year. And the reason that that's happening is we're kind of in the middle. We're in no man's land. Less people are going to be buying Switches knowing that the Switch 2 announcement's going to be coming sometime soon.
Okay.
And so preparing people. Capcom also had a killer year.
Yeah.
Record profits for the 7th year running.
Okay.
And so Capcom, some of it's just straight up good game design. Some of it's some scummy motherfucking shit that I don't like them for.
Microtransactions, bullshit like that they always have been dabbling in. We always yell at them. Sometimes they scale it back, and then they do good, and then they get back in it. They're like one of those, it's like
Trying to put the hand in a cookie jar.
Yeah, it's like,
I
stop
see
it.
you. I see you.
stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right.
Eventually you get tired of slapping the hand, and that's...
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna get
Well,
tired.
but the industry gets tired of slapping their
Right.
hand, and then they allow...
They get away with one.
Yeah.
Well, I do like Capcom, and I do like it when they succeed. So as long as they're doing it the right way with good games.
Yes. We are running out of Resident Evils to remake, though.
Yeah,
so
they might have to get original here in a bit.
Well, unless we're going to do
Resident Evil 8.
Well,
Remake.
no, Resident Evil
6.
9 and 10.
Resident
11.
Evil 1 reimagined.
I need Resident Evil 0 remake.
What about we play as the dog? You know that first dog in Resident Evil, the one to the right of the entrance hall?
Yes.
That jumps through, you play,
Jumps
as,
through
that.
the
You play
window.
as that dog.
Nice.
You
And we
messed up
learned
the
his
timing.
journey.
Yeah, we learned his journey,
Wait.
yeah. You humanize the dog. Mm-hmm. I guess it's a Disney thing. It's not a Capcom
Sure.
thing. But
I still want the Jafar one.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to talk about the shit?
Yeah, and it turned out that, the dog is the hero of the story because one of the star members killed his mother and father outside of
He's
the
probably
mansion.
trying to stop you. He's like, hey, don't go any further.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Oh.
But you just kill him
He's
anyways.
speaking in dog.
Yeah.
That's
He's like,
even
hey,
better.
let me help you.
I just turned into a zombie, and I don't want you to be zombified. Oh, God, stop stabbing me.
It's like, oh, man, now I feel bad.
All right.
We were the monsters
We were the monsters the
entire
entire time.
Yeah.
And that's why Nemesis and everyone is after us for killing the
Yeah.
best boy.
I would
I was
too.
bidding on eBay. I was bidding on a painted version of the Resident Evil 2 board game because we had fun with Resident Evil 3, and I realized that when I placed the bid, I was like, "Oh shit!" I placed on the Resident Evil 3 painted edition when I already have a painted one, and then so I had to place a bid on the Resident Evil 2, and then I was like trying to retract my bid, but they wouldn't retract my bid. I was like, "Fuck!" And so then I ended up losing the Resident Evil 2 painted, and guess what? I won the Resident Evil 3 painted.
Well, now you can sell another
But now,
copy.
yeah, I'll just, when I get the box, I'll sell it back on eBay
Well,
because I
check out
already
the
have
paintings,
that
though.
painted.
Maybe you could be like,
Yeah.
I like this one better, and then switch them out.
Yeah. Shut up, Joe. Shut up.
As long as you don't use the same pictures, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Of
use
course,
yeah.
of course.
Alrighty. Well, I guess it's time to talk about
Bullshit.
the biggest news story. Fucking Microsoft. Microsoft is dead. No, that's too much.
Clickbait.
It's
Microsoft
clickbait. I'm looking for the
Xbox.
clickbait term.
Xbox.
But no, it's still pretty fucked up. Like this, honestly, Xbox, it's not that hyperbolic to say that Xbox did die a little bit. It died in my heart a little bit. When you have a successful studio, when you have a successful game, and you still get completely shut down.
You did everything right.
Everybody laid off. You did everything right. What does that tell future people that work for Microsoft, that get purchased by Microsoft?
Means no one's safe.
Exactly, Joe.
No
Fuck
one is
that. It's a legitimate, genuine wound, and this is just an example of the industry fucking itself over, fucking over people, and it's going against what's the fucking point in spending billions of dollars in acquisitions if you're just gonna fucking shut shit down? Maybe don't spend the billions of dollars to acquire somebody just to shut them down almost instantly. That kind of behavior sucks ass. And then people say, well, Arcane Austin made Redfall and it's fucking shitty. Yeah, but Arcane Austin also made good stuff, and as far as they're under the umbrella too of the companies that have made good stuff. So it's these companies that, like, they'll see some of their profits decline, and they can't stand it. They need to take action. So if they lose 10%, we need to cut 50% of, all of our production and our pre-production and all that stuff. And it just sucks to see. Sometimes I think it's worth writing out some of those, especially if you truly believe in some of these studios and some of these companies that the next one will be the hit that you're waiting for. And instead, Microsoft's like, nope. We just had this huge acquisition of Blizzard Activision of 50 billion.
67.
Yeah, quite a lot of billions. So let's just start cutting studios now. But if you long-term strategy, that's not smart. Short-term, it might be smart for shareholders and things like that, because you see an instant return. You still didn't make up all the money that you spent on Activision Blizzard, but long-term, these companies could have made up some of that in millions, hell, billions, if they get a massive hit. To contribute towards that. But that's the nature of motherfucking the corporate world.
The only acceptable losses in corporate video games are in staff and for the consumers, and it's never for shareholders. So this is something that you read enough of the news articles, you're like, oh, this absolutely makes sense that Microsoft would do it. Not that I can condone it, but they're like, oh, they closed Arcane Austin.
It makes sense in a CEO corporate world where it's like, okay, we spent $60 to acquire a more successful, publishing, Activision Blizzard development studios. And then later on, we spent more billions to get smaller studios because we were trying to make a big show of force in the industry. Don't worry, Xbox is going to have the games. And then you realize, oh no, we're not making all of the money.
Well, you shouldn't have bought Bethesda if that's what you wanted. And then a lot of the blame needs to go on Bethesda here as well. The management company that Microsoft purchased that all of these fall under, because Bethesda was kind of in charge during the mismanagement of Arcane Austin when they were developing. Sort of, they lost 70% of their original Prey workforce because they didn't want to work on the Redfall. Bethesda said, and their managers who were in charge from Bethesda said to make this game. Now, Arcane Austin, many of the people at Arcane Austin are being folded into other companies. And so the name Arcane sticking around because Arcane Leon is still very much around and still going to be working on games. Tango GameWorks is the major head scratcher that he was referring to that we will
Yeah.
continue to talk about further in stories. And then there's 2 mobile companies, Alpha Dog Games, which is just getting shut down, but the other company is Roundhouse is getting rolled into again other companies. So Roundhouse is going to be dead in name only. Alpha Dogs looks like it's just gone.
Arcane Leon, if y'all don't know, is working on Marvel's Blade right now. And they've done all the more famous ones like the Dishonored and stuff like that.
Yeah. Matt Booty said that Booty, who is kind of in charge, said a small number of people in Bethesda publishing and corporate roles will also be laid off. This is just because they felt that things weren't being run, things are kind of bloated, though if you talk to the people over at ZeniMax and Bethesda, they've all said that they're already operating on a skeleton crew and there's not enough people to manage the projects they have, so rather than acquire people, especially since there's all these laid off game workers that, very talented people that could come in and bolster and reinforce, they're just going to go and make the skeleton crew even thinner. This also means that the Hero Pass stuff that we said that people still had not gotten last week.
Get your refund.
Don't hold your breath. Release your breath.
Yeah.
Breathe right now because it's not coming.
Well, you're getting to make good.
They said we'll make good.
Yeah, and what that means is.
I don't know what that means.
Hopefully, money.
We'll make good.
Yeah,
refund via money.
Is I'm hoping for. Well,
and I'm hoping,
or they'll be like,
for.
here is digital currency, digital tokens and coins
for what?
that you can use in our next Candy Crush. Yeah,
well, they own Candy Crush.
Yeah, fuck you.
Well,
no.
so
it's a refund as far as I remember.
Yeah. The president of Xbox was asked specifically about Tango GameWorks.
This was hilarious. Are you talking about that interview?
Yeah.
Where they get her, Joe, right on that spot,
and she tries her best to say nothing.
Her answer is a straight up fucking corporate bullshit. Nothing. You remember when I used to have the bullshit translator? Yeah, you just run it through there and it's like, yeah, we fucked up. Well, I got nothing, so let me run circles around.
What? Next question, please.
It's really bad. It's really insulting. I came so close to doing an angry rant. It should have got an angry rant. Fuck this. I'm sorry.
So Tango GameWorks was a Japanese developer. They did The Evil Within. They did Ghostwire Tokyo, which apparently did not do so well. They did Hi-Fi Rush, which did very well. We loved it. We played the game. We even did a video on it. Had bloated development costs, and so they looked at it, and apparently there was no one to roll Tango Works under. The head of Tango, the guy who kind of founded and led all of their development, also left last year. People theorized that he was chased off by Bethesda. He wanted to do different things, not under their thumb. So when asked about the closure of this company that made a hit, indie-ish game, she spent a minute saying almost nothing. Just I can read you some of it, but I don't want to read too much of it.
Yeah, read some. Largely, the industry has
one of the things I really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form, and it means that the situation and what success means for each game studio is also really unique. There's no one-size-fits-all to it for us, and so we look at each studio, each game team, and that's just like keeps going on.
So you just a bullshit translator. This particular Tango Works studio did not make all of the money for us, like this other studio that has the potential to make all of the money. It only made some of the money, and it only got some awards, and its budget grew throughout due to various project managers, and we didn't really like that. But we did make profit on it, but it wasn't enough profit, so shut it down! Shut it all down! Shut it down! That's the bullshit translated.
Yeah, pretty much. I imagine what it said is, hey, number cruncher guy, list all of our studios and how much money that they made. Okay, and they were they were in the bottom percentile of the Bethesda purchase that said X every one of them. It's like, but sir, they're actually a promising company that made games that people actually love.
Yes.
Yeah. And also that when we released Hi-Fi Rush, we didn't fucking tell anyone about it. We just kind of said, hey, here's our game, and they launched it like the day of.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
If given resources, this company could continue to make really good things. No, they didn't make like you said, didn't make all the money. Yeah. So fucking shut them down.
And she goes on. Xbox feels a deep responsibility to ensure that the games that we make, that there are through moments, even when the industry isn't growing. See, why am I rubbing my body? That's all the money that they're rubbing on their body. Xbox feels a deep responsibility to ensure that the games we make
make us ridiculous amounts of money, and if they don't, then we'll shut them down, and we'll shut them all down.
Starfield?
Yeah. Well, so that's
Starfield?
What I do want to mention is this is all Bethesda purchase stuff. Now, since purchasing Bethesda, we got Redfall, we got Starfield, Ghostwire
Yeah,
Tokyo.
but that doesn't work like that, Alex. You know, the games were in development far before the acquisition, so it's not like they got the acquisition, then they worked these games, then these games came out and they were all bad. But that's irrelevant, right? Because it still means that they're losing money.
I'm blaming Bethesda. I'm saying that Microsoft is getting a ton of hate here, which they deserve.
Right.
Do not forget to fuck. Like, Bethesda's over there going like, kick him. It's like, no,
fuck that
motherfucker.
guy.
You get in there. And get
You
your
are
ass
the one
whooped.
that mismanaged these games and these like you allowed Hi-Fi Rush's development
had
to get
they
bloated.
been successful,
And like had they made more money, then like
Redfall,
Redfall was a problem. Starfield was a fucking disaster.
Starfield.
Todd Howard is the greatest salesman of all fucking time because
Yes.
he sold Microsoft his entire umbrella of dog shit games. And what do we got next on the horizon from them? Indiana Jones, which everyone's super fucking excited for. So
Well, they're not all dog shit games, Alex. I mean, you got the Skyrim and you've got Fallout. It's just the most recent one where they tried to create a new IP. What did they do? They literally took elements from all their previous games, tried to smash them together, reuse the game engine, reuse assets, and well, I don't know about specific assets, and then tried to create this fugly thing and presented it to everybody as this is new. I made this, and it is all Todd's fault because a lot of the design decisions go through Todd. It's like, Todd, do we just no? I want it like this. No, no vehicles. I want no aliens. I want it to be NASA, and I want it to be boring, and I want the cities to be small, and I don't want anybody to know where they're at in the city until they yell at us later on, which we have to then make a city map. And then once we make the city map, a year later, everybody will see how bare everything is and how small everything is, and then they'll want to play even less.
yeah. Just from Microsoft's perspective, everything they themselves have purchased and have come out recently has been mostly doo-doo.
Gosh. It just sucks, man, to know that even if you make a good fucking game, a profitable game too, you are not safe.
No.
This industry, oh my God, it just chews people up and spits them out, and it sucks.
Yeah, I mean it's the problem when we talk about, and we talk about all the time, like the major owners, the big mega gaming corps. They buy these companies, and that's why we see so many closures. Is because it's like, oh, they didn't make this much, they don't have anything on the horizon, and so rather than ride out their low period and hope that things are going to get better later on, we just axe people, and it's not over apparently. So,
oh God, what?
So according to some emails that are being sent out to certain divisions within Bethesda and within Microsoft, saying, "Hey, anyone wants to quit right now? We've got a great severance package."
That means
so. It looks like there's a lot more.
That means they're looking to close a few more. They probably got a huge PR backlash from this, and they're probably waiting for a little bit and seeing if they can, do it all behind the scenes and cut from a lot of different studios without having to shut them down.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're, I was going through the list of the smaller studios that they have under their umbrella. There's a couple, another like really, really itty bitty ones, but I imagine it's just going to be divisions within these companies that don't have anything big on the horizon, which again, the person who is working in these divisions, it is not their fault to say like what they should be doing. There's plenty of work under the umbrella. It's just easy for the company to fire them and then hire someone else probably for cheaper, which is just
yeah. It's just unsustainable. This whole idea of constant growth and constant, is seeing those numbers rise and then fucking arrow going up. Instead, it's like you have to go with some ebb and flow, over time.
You're telling
shareholders
me that if you make $1 billion profit one year and then if you make $1 billion profit the second year, the people aren't happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you that they are not.
No, they are not. That's the way that this works. If you make a ton of fucking money, if you make all of the money one year and then you don't make all of the money plus $1 the next year,
everyone.
you fire everyone. Or if you make all of the money minus $1 and you're like, you know what, we bought a couple extra yachts this year, our costs were up.
That's the thing. If it, as if it wasn't bad enough then the overpaid executives get bonuses or their fucking salaries go up. That's the part that it's even worse. It doesn't make any fucking sense. They come up with an excuse. Oh, we have a lot of costs and we got to, this and that. What about the ballooning CEO pays? What about all these bonuses?
Because they make all the best decisions.
Oh, they
in
make
the
all
world.
the best decisions.
Yes, make
One
good
CEO
games.
is as good as 300 developers. You see,
Yes.
if you just smash them together, that's what they would
Who
create.
else would
they
tell him,
create
Joe?
the Andrew or
Who else
whatever
would
his
tell
name
him,
is.
hey, we need to make good games?
Right.
You
Hey,
make decisions like
Hey,
that.
that's Embracer. That's
I
Embracer.
have-
They didn't
But
know
that's
I
that.
have a
genius.
good
That's
idea.
genius.
What we need to be doing is making good games.
That's why you get paid the big bucks.
That's why I get paid the millions of dollars a month.
Yeah. Microsoft is a $3 trillion company. And that's the other thing that people are upset about is like, look, we understand that your Xbox division had made some dumb purchases. It's kind of weird to me that you spent that much money on Activision, but
Yeah.
you made those decisions and immediately firing everyone leaves you with a $68 million hole rather than a $68 million tool to further develop. And so it's like, we need to see. I mean, I imagine Phil Spencer's going to come out in the next couple months. He's probably going to hide after this next round of layoffs, and he'll come out and say what their new strategy is because he's got to.
Yeah.
Or he'll be fired. Because a lot of the other articles I've seen is like, what the hell's Phil Spencer been doing the last 5 years while Microsoft's going to be getting their ass kicked?
Yeah.
So
I just wish some of these corporate people, like what is her name, Sarah Bond or something, where it would just be so cool to hear some honesty. It's like, look, we got a little out of control with our acquisitions.
They would fire immediately.
Activision,
What the fuck are you
Activision
saying?
Blizzard
Get outta
was a
here.
little expensive, and we really need to make up some of that money. And unfortunately, somebody has to get axed.
Up
And we
top.
decided them to.
Yeah.
What? No. Why would I ever reduce my $20 million
fire
pay?
a couple people up top, and you could pay quite a bit. of
Right,
people.
exactly. Yeah, like the Japanese used to do in Nintendo and I don't know if I think it was Nintendo. I'm not sure about Sony. Guy was like, all right, I'm going to take a 40% pay cut, and then he bows and he said, look, I'm sorry. And it's like, bro, that's how you run it. That's like the respect. It's like, I'll work for that man. Let's go to battle together.
This is American. This is about
Right,
greed.
but in America,
Yeah.
it is American
It's
CEO
like,
do not bow. They bow when they pick up their new yacht and then they cut all of your jobs and
then they get
you
a
bow
pay
because you're
increase.
getting your ass fucked. Yeah, you bow. I don't bow. You bow. In America, you bow, not me.
That's fucking ridiculous.
yeah, so it's looking like producers, QA, testers, and other staff at ZeniMax are going to be the targets. So all of those people that get
It's
rolled.
always QA. They always fuck over QA too, which
But it's not necessary. Bugs are part of the gaming experience.
Oh yeah,
now.
yeah,
It's totally fine.
Yeah. It makes
A
it successful.
Bethesda,
Did you see how
that's why.
successful Cyberpunk was and how much everybody loved Cyberpunk when it first came out?
Yeah.
That's one of the news stories that I wanted to cut. Like they say, hey, thank you so much for the second chance, Chooms. Was a recent message. Cyberpunk developers enjoy a well-earned bask as the game finally hits overwhelmingly positive on Steam after all these years. But, I'm a proponent of get it right the first time.
Get it
It's
right
been
when
like
I
2
pay you the
years.
fucking money. If I give you money,
right.
it's
Yes.
like that is the agreement. As a consumer,
first
I don't give
time.
a fuck what happens on your inside of your building. I gave you money.
Yeah.
You want to pay if it's a fucked up beta, no problem, bro. I will help you bug test all day long. But if I give you money under the guise that it's fucking finished and you told me it went
Yeah, it
gold,
was finished.
you can fuck off
It was
forever.
finished. It didn't say Cyberpunk 2077. It'll be done in 2 years.
Yeah.
Subtitle, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. If it was early access, that's one thing. It wasn't. And it was sold as complete. Anyway, tangent. So, there's probably more firings coming. It's not good. But I do have good news.
Oh.
If you're a Microsoft shareholder,
fuck.
Xbox Mobile Store to launch this summer.
They
Oh,
make-
she was
yeah.
so happy about this when she was explaining this.
Deflect. Well, it has to be, right? Because, again, the only acceptable losses in corporate game development is in staff and for the consumer. And not for shareholders. That's not allowed. And so this is something because, again, Microsoft now owns Candy Crush, which all of your moms are playing, and Minecraft, which all the kids are playing.
Yeah.
So it's like this is a big thing. And they've seen how much money Monopoly Go has been making, and they're like, we need 60 Monopoly Go's to make up for the fact that we bought Activision.
Call of Duty Mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile makes dirty money. I mean, so
All the moms play Candy Crush. That is true. His mom's but it's also, I'm sure there's motherfuckers that play that shouldn't be playing. So you know what?
Looking at you.
I'm looking at you. If you
Looking
got Candy
at
Crush,
you.
delete
I know
that
you
shit. Delete that shit. If we ever have like
We know.
if we have another meetup or something, Joe.
Show me your
like,
phone.
let me see it. But at the front, how you bring your phones out for metal detectors? No, we don't do metal detectors.
Nah.
We do Candy Crush
Candy Crush.
detectors.
Monopoly Go.
Oh boy, that'd be funny.
All right, but then I want to see your workout mix, your Spotify workout.
Oh, it's
mix.
all over the place.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Everyone's got, yeah. But yeah, so that's coming out. It's gonna make a bunch of money. Everyone's real happy about it. But so don't worry about the closures, any of those things, because now we'll have a new place to sell you Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And whatever the currency for Candy Crush is. Candy.
I guess
points.
my own Angry Joe metal detectors would go off because I was trying to think in my head like, fuck, if I ever, I have Star Wars Galaxies is one that I've played on mobile. That one got me. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn.
But you didn't get $1,000 deep.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. Because even I used to watch him. You were playing mobile games.
Yeah, but I didn't spend
That's
money.
right. It was Marvel Champions or Contest of Champions.
Yeah,
you
I
son
did play
bitch.
it. I didn't spend money.
But
Not
but
like-
at least so those are somewhat games. They're dirty ass games, but they're games. We're Candy Crush and the fucking clickers. We just slam on you.
It was at the airport. I was
tappers.
bored. None of shit.
There's some RPGs you can play that you don't spend any money on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll revise our
Well, we'll see
Microtransaction
next week
detector.
who else gets the axe, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's coming.
You think it's this week?
Well,
Or do you
what
think it'll be
what
brief?
I'm hoping is that
Over the weekend.
that no more studio closures, and maybe they're doing this behind the scenes, and enough people will take severance packages and move to better companies, and they won't have to do that. But I probably think one or two more are coming.
Yeah. I've never really cared about the studio names as much, as long as I always cared about the employees. So it's like I like when they
Right.
try to. It's like, look, they're closing Roundhouse. No one gives a fuck about the name Roundhouse. Maybe the guy who founded it and the guy's mom, but all of those people got rolled in, and they're like, look, you guys are valuable employees. We want to keep you around. We just can't afford that office building anymore. It's like that makes sense to me. But when they just look at Alpha Dog and they're like, oh, all of you fucking go away. It's like your whole thing is mobile game development. Why are we firing all these mobile people? So
Yeah, it makes no sense, and Tango as well. So I don't know.
yeah.
I don't get it, and I will never get it, and I will
Money.
continue to rail against
That's
it.
the only thing.
Yeah, you're right. It's money and the pursuit of never-ending profits and constant growth that is unsustainable, but apparently these companies don't understand that. It's like every single company is on their way to try to make a monopoly. That's their frame of mind. It's like we have to go and go and go and go until we make a monopoly. Cool.
Sad.
It's sad.
Make
Sad
a
truth.
monopoly go.
Sad
That's what they're doing until we make a monopoly go, which makes millions and billions of dollars. Billions.
It's over $2 billion now.
$2 billion. Then that's not enough. So they'll find more creative ways, perhaps using AI to see how to squeeze more money out of your wallet. And that's a good transition. Guys, if you want your wallets to be fucking awesome, that can't be squeezed, look at this. You can't squeeze this. This is a good construction. So extra wallets, guys, links down below, up to 25% off. Just
Check it out.
really
You'll find something cool.
really depressing news. I think, man, 2024 has been a really shitty year.
Well, there's not a lot of games coming out this year, too.
Exactly.
That's
There's a
what-
down moment in gaming. And then we have to sit here and listen to all these fucking corporate assholes make the stupidest decisions, and people lose their jobs and livelihoods. It's pretty bad, but we got more coming for you. Well, stay
Hopefully
tuned
it's
for
good.
It's all next video is all good news.
episode 2. Stay tuned for episode 2. We'll talk
Yeah.
more because it wasn't just Microsoft that fucked up. Sony had something to say as well. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.